teacup.
Hi everyone, my name is IKUKO100. How are you doing? Until few episodes back, I had been creating this teapot over 6 months or so, and I was told by somebody that it would be much nicer to make it as a set by adding some teacups with saucers and a milk jug whose design match up with this teapot. So that's what I'm gonna do from this episode onwards for a while. Okay, I'm gonna start with the teacup, and this is the design of it. Right, the first thing to do is plaster model making. When it comes to model making, you have to take shrinkage of your work into account. After high temperature firing, your work of porcelain will come out of the kiln with roughly 15% smaller size. So don't forget to create your model bigger than the actual size you are looking at. Anyway, let's get started. We use backclay to build the wall on the flat board with slick surface. Okay, something like this. Now we're gonna pour the plaster in here. In order to create a decent model with certain hardness, you better watch out the amount of plaster you are going to mix. And once its texture starts to become creamy, you pour it in. Right, I'm gonna start carving this lump of plaster into the shape I have designed. Okay, this looks fine to me. We put this upside down and create the bottom. Right, we are going to create a handle for this cup. First, we apply some soap throughout this. And once it's done, we'll use this buff clay to fix the bottom of the model to the flat board so that the model won't move. And then surround the space where we'll be pouring the plaster in to create the model of the handle with some buff clay. And pour the plaster in. And finally, we'll carve this chunk into a proper shape of a handle. First, draw some very rough guidelines so that we'll be able to see how much we can carve the side of it. Okay, now I'm gonna draw a spirally pattern on the surface of a handle. And start carving along with these lines. As I had mentioned in the episode of how to create a teapot, when it comes to inner surface of the handle, you need to take its mold making process into account. If the model of a handle has got convex inner surface, there's a great risk that this closed space will have an undercut issue. Then the mold will not come apart. So you better watch out. Okay, the top part of the handle seems to be okay to me. So I'll leave a mark on the body part. Now I'm gonna work on the bottom part of the handle. Right, I think it's done. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I hope to see you at the next episode. Bye now!